I've been told you guys to start it and let's talk. Start in hot.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Over the Top Podcast Sports Edition. It's your boy Big Hank. We here with Q. What's up, Q?
Hey, Becky Hammond, former champion former assistant coach champion for the Spurs, former championship coach in the WNBA for the Las Vegas Aces, got an interview with the Toronto Raptors, and she deserves it because she is a winner.
Hey, she do deserve it. Playmaker, how you doing there, buddy?
Oh, I'm locked and loaded.
Hey, do that fall on the Rooney Rule if she dates, or that just for a black candidate? Just asking.
I'm pretty sure that's black.
Okay, just asking.
Minority. It's minority.
Right. So she would be a minority, right?
No, there's more women than men, unless you're talking about just specifically in NBA.
I guess in the men's sports. Yeah,
it's based off of the position. So, and as far as coaching, she would be a minority in the NBA.
Hey, minority or not, she deserves it.
Huh?
Minority or not, she deserves it. She's a winner.
Hey, you can win. You can win. Hey, if you can see the game, you can win the game. Big B, what's up, baby? You coming in and out? What's going on with you? B Franks, what's going on with you? Can you hear me? Okay, I don't think back can hear me.
I don't know what's going on with my end.
You're in that little slow on us. And we got RJ coming in.
I can't even understand you, bro.
Try to log out and log back in. Maybe that'll help out. Try to log out and log back in. But we're gonna keep the party started. We have some other coaching issues.
Wait. Introduce RJ. Introduce RJ. Introduce RJ.
Well, I am. Give me a second. Let him get in. Let him get in to take a coat off. Let him get the coat off. Let him take a seat. RJ, what's up going on, buddy?
Muted.
RJ, what's going on, buddy? Unmute yourself.
Been an interesting week this week, man. Real interesting week.
Okay.
But good and productive.
Very productive. That's what's up. But we're talking about Becky Hammond getting the interview and position with the Toronto Raptors. I would do that. I would make it a little joke, but it's kind of interesting conversation. Does that fall on the minority hires because she's a lady for a men's position? Hey, and don't get me twisted. If you can coach it, you can coach it. Because I know I guess a lot of men probably don't want to be on the tutors of Pat Miss Pat, because Miss Pat was hard on you. Miss Pat Summit.
She's a winner.
Yeah, and she's a winner. So I mean, all due respect.
Do they have that in the NBA though? Or is that just football?
That's a good question.
I think the Rooney Rule was just football, but I was just curious. Because you don't normally see the cross genders as much. Hey, but all kudos to her, man. If she can go get it, you let her go get it. I ain't know should that fall on the minority hires or not. I don't know. This kind of curious question more so than anything else.
Wait a minute. So did they fire the coach in Toronto?
Nick Nurse? Yeah, he gone.
Yeah, he gone.
Okay.
He gone. It was another firing down there in Milwaukee too.
Oh, they let old boy go?
Yeah. It was another dissatisfied customer down there in Milwaukee.
That's not a surprise though. They said that he was going to get fired the year before they won the championship.
Yeah, he's been on the hot seat for about 4 years now.
Y'all joke about Thanasis riding that Giannis train. Bud rode that Giannis train for years.
Yeah. But my thing is, man, that's not fair. If I'm on the hot seat and I bring you a championship, I mean, I should be good for at least 3 years.
2.
They gave him 2.
3 championship?
No, Hank. No, that's not. No.
Come on now.
I'm gonna tell you something. I heard. I think it was two. It was 2 people talk about. Oh, Jay Will broke it down very good. Jay Will talked about the defensive rotations and some of the things that they were doing relative to stopping
The Heat.
the Heat, yeah. And he just said it was deplorable. He was like, man, what they were doing wasn't necessarily functional, and it wasn't winning basketball. And he broke it down in a way that was really interesting. Like his color commentary was awesome. It was really awesome.
Bear, can you hear me? Now you still connected. But man,
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, was the way you get connected. I'm gonna get his thoughts on how many years a championship buys you. I'm thinking 3. Y'all say 2. But run, Jay Will is a smart cat, man. I enjoy watching him, man. He tends to give you a different view than a lot of the commentators.
It was with no, it was no ballyhoo, no emotion. He just really broke it down, and he was just like, "Yo, this guy's he's deficient in a number of areas." And he said even when he won the championship, it was some things that he saw in the game. But you know what though? NBA players or people that play with good coaches see the game differently. Whatever sports you played in, like Coach K players see the game differently. Dean Smith players see the game differently. And that's good teaching. You know, like I don't know if any of y'all seen that video on Instagram with Rasheed Wallace breaking stuff down in terms of aspects of what should be done. Man, one of the things that people always forget about Ra was talented, but he was fundamentally sound. And that comes from coaching, man. Time in Gratz and then going into Carolina. So
then look at that Milwaukee team. So it's what you do with it. I mean, I'm looking at the roster starting lineup. You got Grayson Allen, Holiday, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez. You need some more offense. Grayson don't give you offense. Huh?
You said you need more offense?
Well, I don't know. What you think was needed? What you think anything needed? I mean, Grayson.
I think you move Grayson Allen to the bench and put in a better perimeter defender, and you good to go. A 3.
I mean, so why you fired him, man? If he got his team good to go?
Because he didn't utilize his team.
Well, yeah.
I think
They fired the coach.
Yeah, they fired Boone's.
Yeah.
Boone's. That's what his name is.
Yeah, they fired him.
See, you know what
how many championships Bell that should buy you as a coach? 2 years, 3 years?
What should buy you?
So if you win a championship with a team,
What you mean?
You know, if you're a coach and you take your team and win a championship, so should they at least, and your team winning, they should at least buy you 2 more years on a coaching job, shouldn't they? You shouldn't get fired the next year. I mean, you took your team to the championship. They should at least give you 2, 3 years.
That's
I'm looking at this man's record.
It's 2 full NBA seasons though, Hank. And that's 82 games,
Milwaukee,
bro.
Where'd they go last year? Did they get put out first round last year?
They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, lost to the Celtics.
So you made this final last year. You won it the year before yet, right? Or was it 2 years ago they won it?
2 years ago.
I mean, come on now. Do you fire the man?
Here's the thing.
I'm trying to fight for him.
Here's the thing. You lost.
You dying on that hill right now. You know that, right?
Not only did you lose to an 8 seed, you lost. Yeah, you lost to someone. You lost to a team that had to play a play-in to get to the 8 seed.
Okay, I mean,
yeah, they need some other type of motivation. They need somebody else that's gonna get them going right now.
I will pose a thought to you too.
They struggle.
I will pose a thought to you guys too. Just put this on the table. One of the reasons that the Celtics really clung to Ime Udoka for that whole year and put him on ice was because he was the only one that was able to get Jaylen Brown and Tatum to work together.
Right.
One of them was on their way out of Boston before Udoka came in and solidified that roster. And Missoula has been able to hold it together somewhat, but you see it's fizzling, right?
Well,
You see it's fizzling.
I think it's fizzling not because of Missoula's coaching talent. I think the respect is different. I think the boy it's almost like it's almost like I want to say a father figure, but the authority figure is gone. The adult has left the room. You know, this guy playing with him. You don't we need to get this work done.
But that's
and
his
you can tell
presence.
it when
His
in certain
presence.
situations, huh?
His presence. Like people that really
structure is broke down.
The people that really like the game and are really strong, like KD, really was like, "Yo, man, I was hoping he would be out." You know, he was really hoping that he would go to Brooklyn, because both of those cats would be there. At least Kyrie would be there. You know, James probably would be gone, but Kyrie and Durant would be there in Brooklyn.
But that was the main reason. That was the main issue they had in Brooklyn. It wasn't because the dudes can't play together. They didn't respect Steve Nash.
Yeah, I agree.
they didn't care what Steve Nash had to say.
They wasn't healthy. They couldn't stay on the floor together.
Well, right, yeah, but even if they was healthy,
that.
I think that this thing with Steve Nash of not being a leader, is, authority figure in the locker room. Hell, I ain't gotta listen to you. You know, you Steve Nash. You know, why I gotta listen to you for? You know, I think Udoka that plays a role. Now I don't know what he's gonna do in Houston. Hell, they ain't got nothing down there now. They gonna be struggling for a while.
Houston's a good fit for him.
Who? Oh, Udoka got hired in Houston.
Yeah, that's a good fit for him.
That's a good spot for him.
An AAU team. That team needs. That's a team that needs a leader. That's really an AAU team.
Hide your daughters. Nah, I'm teasing. Hide your daughters.
Hey, man, but you know what though? It was consensual. That's very hard. It was consensual, man. A grown man and a grown woman. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Right. I'm just saying. I mean, especially in Houston. Houston set you up down there now. You see what you try to do. You see what you try to do to your boy, and ran him to Cleveland. In football, you see what they did with the Deshaun down there in Houston.
No, he did that to himself.
You gotta be careful down there in Houston, guys. Hey, I'm just saying, I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm just
man. You don't believe he did that to himself?
Maybe so. I mean, you're a man and you take responsibility for your actions. Now, I do believe that.
He was enabled too, though. I ain't gonna lie. They gave him the facility to do some of that stuff, man.
They did.
That's crazy. So they knew. Like, you know what's really crazy about this? Man, I heard this guy break down how they do the draft, right? They said, man, they go back to some kids' elementary school. Bro, if you go back to my elementary school and you drafted me, you're going to find a lot of things about me as a person that's not, you know what I'm saying? So they know who Sean is, bro. It ain't even a question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get in some of these. Let's get in a little bit of these games. What do you think about Suns Nuggets? What's your thoughts? Denver up 1-0.
That series tied up.
No, it's two. It's the Nuggets up 2 games. The zip, and Chris Paul not gonna play. Chris Paul not gonna play in 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, they done. What you think though, Bell? You hear me?
I think you think it.
Garrett, anybody, who you think? Anybody? Huh?
I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes with the Nuggets, I feel like they can close them out. But here's the thing. Well, they definitely gonna close them. If they don't have Chris Paul is still the general. And my question now is how much longer do you allow him to be the general on your team, because he's showing that, hey, he injury prone now. He injured. He can't even finish a darn, let alone a season. You talking about season plus playoffs? He can't even finish. He old.
I think he's done.
I had a question about Chris Paul too. I had a question about him too. And I know many ain't gonna agree, but my question was, and I know a lot of people like him, But my question is, has he done enough to be in the Hall of Fame?
I would say yes. Yes, he's second in assists, second in steals. And I think we could all say he's better than John Stockton.
Ooh.
There you go, throwing out names now. There you go again.
I forgot I'm on a pen with all hands.
Hey, but you know what? You know what, son? You know what, Quinn? You know what, Quinn? Hold up, Quinn.
What are we doing here?
Hold up, Quinn. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna claim it. John Stockton didn't win a ring.
But you know
He
what?
didn't get a ring. So yeah, I'm gonna say Chris Paul is just as good or better than John Stockton. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
How can you say
the best
John Stockton ran into the Bulls?
Right, but
Chris
Paul
is
a floor general.
Chris Paul ran into the
floor
Warriors
general.
every year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it with him. I'm gonna roll with him.
Chris Paul ran into the Warriors.
Chris Paul ran into a brick wall too now.
And then the one time he got there, he ran into a brick wall.
His team.
Huh?
I don't think I even got the energy to debate that. That right there.
I mean, what
Y'all gonna have
do John Stockton do better than Chris Paul do?
The end of he said John Stockton.
Right. What do John Stockton do better than Chris Paul do? What do John Stockton do better than Chris Paul? Yeah, what do he do better?
He's durable. I hate to say that about Chris. I hate to say that about Chris. He's durable.
That's
the best. What's the best? The best. You know, the one thing that's really kind of tough, and that's really it's really hard for me to look at it and see with all them cats changed their diet. They changed their diet, and they've done essentially everything they can do to prolong their careers, but they keep having them soft tissue injuries. LeBron, Chris Paul. When you start having those issues and those breakdowns like that, that's you know, that's your body telling you, man, it's time to let it go.
It's time to put it away.
And he always, like, when you start looking at Chris, it's always at the end of the season, and then not necessarily. And this is where he has to look at, like, okay, like I come back next year if I'm him, but I limit my minutes. Man, I'm playing 25, maybe 30 on a good night.
Yeah. I don't know if I come back next year. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I
come back next year because you got Durant under contract, you got Booker under contract, so you come back. But here's the thing: the young guy that was playing point guard, or who would be the off guard, the guard to come in and handle the ball, he said his name.
Payne.
Didn't he get sent to
No,
Brooklyn?
that was Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson.
You're talking about the backup point guard. The backup point guard is still there.
Oh, he's still there? Okay. Youngin is nice, but apparently, I don't know, because what I seen him play 2 years ago, and the Suns played the Bucks. Youngin looked good to me. So
he's up and coming.
Well, he need to be here now.
He's been in the league like 8 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He need to be here now.
I don't think the Suns got no scoring. Especially if Chris Paul can't go, you definitely don't have no scoring.
You got
stay with Denver.
I'm gonna shock the world. Even if he can come back after Game 5, even if they push it to Game 6,
not no scoring, B.
They have no bench.
Man,
from this,
I don't know about
Game
that.
6 moving forward, guess what? Paul coming off the bench.
Hey, the Phoenix Suns ain't got no scoring. You take Booker and you take Durant. Okay, you give them 60. Okay, eight ain't gonna give you what, 15? What else you got?
20.
I mean,
you generally, say 20. You still at 80 points. What else you got?
Well, there's playoff basketball, so you're generally looking at your bench to score somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 to 30 points. I'm thinking that's just a guesstimation.
But old boy said this is the first time as a head coach that he cried after a trade.
Who said that?
He lost.
Phoenix Suns coach.
That
Yeah.
Monty Williams.
Monty said
Money.
that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because
Monty.
He
Monty
lost his
lunching.
best. He lost his best.
When you think about what
best
you
scorer
lost,
off the bench and lost his best defender.
Well, that's another thing. That's another reason I said I give Phoenix another year. I didn't think they'll win the chip because you move too many moving pieces. You got too many moving pieces right now. Then you got to rebuild it because you don't have no bench
At
they
all.
go fooling with them Kentucky boys.
You don't have no bench. What's the other one? So we go there. So that's switch up. They got Miami. We still got the Heat and Knicks series, right?
The bracket busters is what that is.
Hey man, you know what? I gotta eat crow. I gotta eat crow on that whole. I just knew. I don't know, man.
I
Hey,
agree.
them Knicks. Hey, Tim Blue got them boys balling now.
What didn't Jimmy not play game
Tim
two?
got them boys balling
He was
now.
hurt. Jimmy didn't play.
Jimmy didn't play.
Well, I
was a
mean,
street
you gotta play. You gotta be doable. You gotta play,
And they
but
still squeaked.
Nah,
They still
Jimmy,
squeaked
Jimmy,
by that
Jimmy,
game.
Jimmy plays so hard. I think he beats himself up. That's the hard part for him as a
True.
player. So
when he
you know,
coming back, he come back next game.
that part I don't know. I don't know.
What's your call in that game, B?
I think Miami gonna steal that series. They gonna
They
steal
stole the series with a.
I mean,
They stole the series with.
Milwaukee.
They stole the series with Tyler Hero hurt.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's not.
I was like, yo, how that happen? Like to me,
What's your boy from the wire run? What's your boy from the wire?
Which one?
The one that Omar. I'm gonna talk. Yeah. I'm gonna talk.
Omar coming.
Omar's coming. Bucket's coming.
But you know what though? You know what though? Hey man, dude is dope, and I'm gonna tell you why. He checked this reporter because the reporter told him the wrong day that they were supposed to play. He said, "Man, do your job." But then at the same time, when they were celebrating, everybody was celebrating. He was just like, "All right, man, we should act like we won. Like on to the next one." And then they were talking about how he challenged Big Cat when him and Big Cat were teammates.
But yeah, then when he took the third unit and beat them boys down. I like the Knicks. I'm still go for the Knicks, but you got to find some way to control buckets. I don't know if you can control buckets.
Man, you barely beat them without Jimmy. You abandon the Knicks, man. They barely beat the Heat without Jimmy. Jimmy gonna win that series, man.
All right.
I like Randall, but man, Randall is so erratic.
I like Brunson. Brunson.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
I think Randall played better with Brunson on the floor than him off the floor too.
Well, that's why I think he was the secret sauce for that team to win. But the issue more than anything else is that, man, your boy he's erratic, man. And RJ Barrett is erratic too. You know what they say? Both of them went to RJ Barrett and daggone Ben Simmons went to Mount Verde. He said they got the worst shooting coach in the world.
If you've been to high school, Mount Verde always has stars. Then they get to the league and almost like, they're erratic, all of them.
Yeah.
I think for example, Ben Simmons went to Mount Verde. You saw what happened to him.
Yeah, well, them cats building them super teams in high school has been, and we had a team in DC, man, they had 2 7-footers on it. Donald Hodge and God dang, what's the name? One went to Temple and one went somewhere else. But man, Flint Hill. I don't know if y'all remember when 3D was at Flint Hill. Dennis Scott. And it was somebody else that was on that team that was great. That's the year, man, which was really kind of interesting to see how some of those players stacked up. Because 2 of the guys that went to, was in my same class, they played a national schedule that year. And so it was interesting, man. It was pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to see like some of those cats that they played against. And then they were talking about going to the Nike camp. They were telling stories. It was funny as hell to hear them tell them stories.
Tell them old stories. Hey, we're going. What you say?
Because I don't think we talked about this yet, but Did we talk about Mikey Williams going to jail for battery?
Man, that dude 25.
No.
So he's a high school kid, but he's been a prospect since he was in 8th grade. And he was going to Memphis. He was signed to Memphis. He did his whole thing about, we're gonna stack the HBCU teams. Went to Memphis instead. He caught 5 counts of battery. So then what happened? He was in his house and someone else. A bunch of people pulled up to his house. They got into an argument. They got in the car and left. Mikey Williams started shooting behind the car. And there's 5 kids in the car. So he was a top prospect for the past 5 years. And threw it all away.
Let this be a lesson to all the young fellas, guys. The decisions you make in life would definitely affect you.
Well, it's already something up with Mikey Williams anyway, because McDonald's All-American, they just bypass him. They didn't even think about him.
So he be having issues anyway then.
Yeah, they already knew he had issues.
He be having issues
he's
anyway.
From San Diego.
He's supposed to play
here in the Midwest. He played on the high school team in North Carolina. Then his senior year, he went back to San Diego. And
he's supposed to play in the Capital Classic. The dude that's really kind of locked in on some things in the DC area. Had a locker room picture of him, and he's really kind of spearheading along with a couple of different people to kind of get that game put into one of the premier slots like it used to be. It used to be one of the games that they would air, but they haven't aired it in a long time. Man, I remember going to that joint. J.R. Reed, King Rice. Man, I remember seeing daggone Jason Kidd at Coldfield House. God dang, man. They had and you know what was really crazy? They had them daggone, like, basketball shoes are so much better now. This is like a random thought. They had on them Ralph Sampson Pumas.
Tear your ankles up. Why you ain't on them ankles? Tear them ankles up.
Had the Ralph Sampson Pumas on, but J. Kidd, they had some real good players in that game. Right. And that's when I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Brian Williams played in that joint too, if I'm not mistaken, Bison Daly. Mm-hmm. That's a name that we don't hear enough about, man.
Who's that?
Heck of a Bison Daly was a hell of a ball player.
No, I don't know much about him. But
you don't know who Brian Williams is? Look him up.
Why Brian Williams? Yeah, I know that. I ain't know the Bison Daly. I ain't know the.
He changed his name. He changed his name.
If you don't know Brian Williams, we need to stop. You need to go do the research.
Do the research. But we are gonna take pause. We're gonna take pause and congratulate the league's MVP, Gerald Embiid. Give me nobody care about it. Everybody like whatever.
Should be number 2.
Here, nigga, damn, that's what that award was.
I mean, I'm sorry. I thought.
What you say, Q?
That was the here, nigga. You finally got it. After 2 years of being behind. Hey, man, give that man some respect, man. We gotta give that man no respect. I'm trying to pump him up. Y'all like, okay, whatever. He deserved it this year, but that was after everyone on a month-long press run slandering Joker for his defense.
Well, he probably deserved it the last 2 years, but Joker got him. I don't know. So, but what about this series? Quinn, since you what do you think about the Philly Celtics series? What's your thoughts?
I was watching another podcast, and someone on the podcast said the Celtics have a terrible time dealing with aggressive guards, which was proven last year against when Trae Young was giving them hell. This year, when Joel was out, Harden went off. I think Maxey went off too. With Joel back in, they keep throwing it to Joel. Then they lose. So Doc Rivers needs to, if as a fans we see Celtics have trouble guarding quick, explosive guards. Hey, Joel, I know you MVP. We gotta try and get the highlight reel ready for after the postseason. But The postseason is gonna end quickly if your coach don't make the adjustment.
What's your thoughts that playmaker? Ain't heard from you in a while, buddy.
James Harden is an X factor at this point in his career. If he could go out there and consistently score 30 points a night, then I would agree with that statement. And maybe you want to kind of put it in his hands to do the scoring. But at this point in his career, I'm not sure if James can do that for a series. He can do it in spurts, but I don't know if he can do it for a series.
I agree, but that's why you got Maxey over there who can give you 25 a game if you let him.
Maxey's going to get his points regardless. If James is taking ill-advised shots and you take Embiid out of the game, then I still think that's a recipe for disaster.
The issue is that it's not the third scorer, it's the fourth. And the fourth one is supposed to be the guy who has, like, he had that mid-level max exception. I can't think of what his name is.
Tobias?
Oh, yeah, Tobias.
Harris.
Yeah, Tobias.
Yeah.
When you let him score, when you let him create his own shot, he can give you 20 at least.
I mean, Harris is a good ball player, but he disappears at times from what's being said, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, you know, one of the things that LeBron said that was really dope when he was talking about Ja, he said, man, dudes in this league can go off. And we don't, man, like sometimes we don't realize just how good them dudes are, man.
Like,
we really don't, man. We really don't realize how good those dudes are. The dude said this one time at the barbershop. He said, man, if you look at those dudes, they're extraordinary. Like when you stand next to or around Mutombo or Mourning, man, you look, man, Mourning is a big dude, Slim.
Yeah,
and I ain't talking about just height.
Frame.
His shoulders are wide, like it's different, and so that's something working on Georgetown campus. It was interesting seeing them cats walking around there, and just looking at and marveling how big they are. Man, them dudes are extraordinary, man.
I think that I'm looking at the Celtics. I'm going for the Philly. But I'm gonna need James Harden to play like an all-star. If play an all-star, be close. If not, Boston's gonna mess around and understand what they're doing, and it's gonna get ugly. I think
Boston has a problem, and their head is hurt. Smart hurt. Smart is the injured. So
Smart hurt. Dang. Well, who did they get? They signed somebody to play point guard too, right?
They got Malcolm Brogdon.
Balling, keep balling.
Brogdon, and also White though. I mean, and that's where a lot of their help is coming from the bench right now. But if Philly,
you're not gonna get that from White every night. White had an explosion last game, but you're not gonna get that 15 a night from White.
I don't know.
He's a rim protector.
He scored. He was a pretty consistent scorer last year in the playoffs.
His last 3 games, he scored 7, 4, and 15. He averaging 12. I mean, he averages 12. But he and the minutes right around 30. So I mean, the game before that he scored 4, 1 for 5 on the 4. His last game scored 15. So that's why I'm saying I don't know if you're gonna get that as the series continues, because you're gonna start tightening on. Some stuff gonna be tightened up on. And I think from a coach, I'm gonna tighten up them little points first.
The advantage Boston have,
big boys. The
advantage Boston have is all their role players play their role. All their role players play their role. You know, you look at Williams. He plays his role, and if you give him 3 open threes, he's gonna knock down one of them. What more can you really ask for? I mean, you want him to hit all 3, but he's gonna hit one of them. And White, he coming in, he almost automatic. Brogdon, he playing good. Everybody, all the role players play their role, and that's when the engine is really rolling. And they need that night in and night out now, because Smart, the production that he's giving, is going to kind of go down because he has that sternum bruise and something going on with his right shoulder. Well, they said a stinger. That's probably not that bad.
I know we put a little pressure on the coach, and the coach not being AKA tough enough on him. But hell no, you still got Tatum. You still got all-stars over there. I mean, Tatum and Brown should say, hey guys, somebody gotta be a leader in the locker room. Somebody gotta be a leader in the locker room. Your leaders gotta get it right in the locker room.
Ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. Never seen any team. You know what? This is going to be a bold statement. I'm going to say. Y'all going to bug out potential. I never seen a team defend like Butler defended Duke in that championship. Besides Georgetown teams, and I mean they were in Duke's chest. And I said, this guy can really coach basketball. But you know what? He couldn't get Jaylen Brown and got daggone your boy to play together. That's why he got kicked upstairs, because they knew he had Stevens had a high basketball IQ. Correct. And he would be a good team president, but he couldn't get those guys to play together. That's why I keep saying, like, we overstating chemistry. And then also the coaches I've won with in my lifetime, for better or for worse, whether they were of a different race, they knew how to bring people together and mold those guys.
Well, I don't even think it's a racial issue. I think it's a youth issue. I think with Udoka, he is a certain atmosphere that he had in the locker room, whereas this guy more and more want to be more friendly and juvenile with you and jokingly with you. But when it comes down to crunch time, when I'm trying to get on you, when I got to get on you because I've been joking with you, now you're not gonna respect me getting on you versus me being a coach and say, yo, you need to get in line. You get in line. I don't think it's a race thing. I just think it's a youth thing.
I'm not saying it's a race. No, listen what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a race thing. I said
I think it's a youth. I think it's a youth.
It crosses the barrier. But I mean, you have to be able to speak what people need to hear in order for them to be successful. And sometimes, like when you're talking to certain guys, some people have the ability to do that, and some people don't.
What do you think about that, playmaker? You jump in. What's your thought?
I think it points back to the leadership of the team. When I look at the Celtics, I don't see a veteran leadership person on the team that can say, "Hey guys, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do that." Most teams have someone who's been around. Either they're coming off the bench and they're just always sitting on the bench, or they're a contributor. They don't have.
Horford.
What about Horford?
Horford. He's a veteran. He's a veteran. But he's not. I don't think he is a person that demands respect of the room for all those players. I don't think Tatum, Brown, Smart, all of them look at him as.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think he's well respected. He's not a.
I mean, he ain't going there and shut up. I mean, but Harford ain't that vocal guy. I mean, even when last year that he dunked on somebody, he got a little upset. I mean, even then he wasn't vocal, but he showed a little aggression, but he wasn't.
I can't see him going to Tatum and be like, "Hey man, get your head in this game and let's go." I can't.
I mean, he ain't like Shaq. He ain't go there and smack you. He don't go there and smack you. Let's go now. Hey,
fella, your hand again.
Sometimes when the game is getting out of hand, you need somebody to pull everybody together and say, "Hey, we better than this. Let's do what we do." And I don't know if that's Horford. I don't think that's Tatum. I don't know who that is. Maybe a little bit of Smart, but I don't know who that is for that team.
So what about this, guys? Anybody can ask who? So what about this? The last one is heavyweight bout we got going on with the Lakers and the Warriors. Where everybody's standing?
They got to score that game right now.
33-26. I got it. Is that accurate, Lakers?
Hey, if the Lakers win this game,
33-26.
If the Lakers win this game, it might be a sweep.
Oof. You see a sweep, B?
Pressure on people.
781.
Huh?
781.
You see a sweep?
If they win tonight.
Oh no,
it's 7. I think it's going 7. Ain't be no sweep.
I don't know about 7, but I don't see a sweep. Curry, listen, Curry got too much pride to let LeBron sweep him.
Yeah, but LeBron
else
may have
out
a
there.
secret
Hey,
agent.
hey,
LeBron may have a double agent over there at Golden State now.
You
You
know-
gotta keep an eye on him.
you know why I thought that they was going to lose to Golden State was going to lose, and
Kings?
to the Kings. What we don't really realize, and they sleep on,
Who wanted to see the score?
your boy, the other Splash brother, was a hell of a defender.
Right.
He's lost a lot of his lateral movement with that Achilles tear.
Yeah, defensively he sucked. Now
He's not who he is.
Yeah,
He
he's
can't
a
move
fail.
like that. He
Dude,
played with a team in Washington State when he came out of school. They locked people down. And so that's how your boy got the job in Virginia. That team with Clay. So when I look at him, I look at his diminishing skill is the fact that he's not a movement person like he was before. And that's the killer.
Well, his shoot
shot.
percentage is pretty awful right now too. That's a killer.
That's what I say, Dad. We were watching Game 7, and when Clay tries to shoot himself out of a slump,
oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, dude.
Man, but you're a shooter, you gotta keep shooting.
You're going 8 for 20. Come on now.
You gotta keep shooting.
But if he get hot, it's a whole different story.
You gotta keep shooting.
And he ain't been hot like that in a while.
Shoes. Big jumping.
I mean, this is the fourth. I think this is the second year after the Achilles and the ACL. So he probably his legs are probably dead tired. You know?
Well, he had a full season last year on him. He had a full season last year on him. He had a full last. What you think, B? Where you stand now? I know you're Lakers, but what's your thought? I think Bear might still delay.
I look you thinking.
I just think when it comes to it, I think Golden State, they just too dangerous. I think, they can still score. The fourth quarter showed that the other night. I know LA or 13, something like that. But when they go on their tear, they go on their tear. There's nothing you can do is hold on and do your best to stop it.
But they ain't been on that offensive. They ain't been on that. I mean, Steph was, but he needs some. Clay, no Wiggins been on that offensive tear in a minute. They may be overdue for one.
Yeah.
They need another big man.
But give props to Looney. Looney grabbing 20 boards. I mean, he watching the windows.
No, look,
He's watching the windows.
How does Looney get 20 boards and AD gets 20 boards? How many misses were they chucking up? Where both of them get 20 apiece.
Well, rebounding is art.
At halftime.
Rebound is art. Rebound is the effort. That was a rebounding there.
Hey man, did you hear Zeke talk about how Dennis Rodman used to look at how the ball would come off the rim? He would study it.
Yeah, I think you
talked about it. He said, man, you know what? That's what made Dennis Rodman was a genius. I'm marrying myself. We think he crazy, but he was smart as hell. He was crazy like a fox. Like Zeke said, he needed that structure that Daly provided for him. Daly was a heck of a coach, though, man.
Can I talk to the Kings, Mike Brown, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. Yo center, Sabonis, it went to the half with 16, 6 and 5. End of the game, 16, 7 and 6. He got out rebounded by Looney by like 20 rebounds that second half by himself. At some point, take him off the floor. He can't get a rebound over Looney. Throw something else at him. At some point, you gotta do that. And Dad, we gotta talk about this. Your number one scoring option, take him off Curry. Curry's making him tired and run around the floor. Throw anybody else at Curry. Throw everybody else at Curry. But don't throw Fox, your number one option, who's in foul trouble at Curry.
With a broken hand.
Do something else. And also, that offense, after that third game, I'm surprised the Warriors didn't know how to stop that offense.
It's amazing how many times.
There. Well, they figured out, they like, say, Sabonis, you can shoot that mid-range. Looney stand, why Looney got so many rebounds? Looney stand under the basket. Draymond under the basket. Look, either get Sabonis to work on that mid-range if you're going to run that offense, or get someone else to fit that spot. Because Sabonis played awful besides one game, he played awful.
What's your thoughts? Somebody jump in. What's your thoughts on that?
I wonder if Sacramento really legit. Meaning, are we gonna see a repeat when we see them back in the playoffs next year? Are they gonna be the contender that they posing to be? I just wonder if they're legit or not.
I think they'll be back. I think the issue more so than anything with them was understanding and knowing how to win. And,
I mean, they were a very young team.
Yeah, they just got beat.
The thing I think that when you look at different sports that makes basketball different from the other major of football is when you get to the playoffs, there's levels to this thing, I think, in the NBA. It's hard for a young team that was put together 1 year to run that gauntlet. That NBA playoffs is a gauntlet. For example, let's look at Looney. Looney had to go against Sabonis. Now he got the great opportunity to go against AD. Maybe having a great, if they pass this round, now you got to go against Joker. If Joker make it, if not, if Joker don't make it, okay, you still got to go against Aiden. It still don't get too much easier. And Lord forbid if Philly make it to the finals, now you go against Embiid. That's a gauntlet, dude. That's 5 of the best centers in the league.
The problem with is though,
as a rookie team, you got to build that experience. So you get the first round this year. Next year they'll make it probably second round of the conference. Then probably the third year, then you if that team stay together, you gonna start seeing championships coming out this squad. I give about 3 to 4 years, but you got to learn to go through that. Like I said, you go through that gauntlet because it's hard, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. It's hard to beat a defending champion in the first, second round. Because your pride gonna set in.
No, then the problem was they were on the way to doing it, and Mike Brown got out coached after Curry goes for 50. Yeah, there's nothing you can stop and do that. But do something else.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Gary, Quentin. The pride gonna set in. These players not gonna allow you to run. Steph Curry was not gonna allow you to beat him. He wasn't gonna allow that.
Clay was gonna let him do it. Clay, Wiggins, and Draymond, we're gonna let him do it.
But that dog getting Steph not gonna let you do that.
Steph wasn't.
You got to put everything in context. You're talking about a game 7. It's not like they got swept. We're talking about a game 7 in which Steph Curry had to score 50 for them to beat.
Make no difference. At the end of the day, are they on the other side of this thing? Makes no difference.
A game
close, but no cigar.
I mean, you make it sound like they wasn't competitive.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if all the greats was in that same scenario, they would have scored 52. What I'm telling you is, the only thing close count is horseshoes and hand grenades. Close but no cigar, sir. Close but no cigar.
Steph Curry put a lot of people out of their misery, scoring 40 and 50 points a night. And there have been some good players that had to sit there and take it.
Right.
Veteran players, seasoned players, it didn't matter. They had to get cooked.
That's right. And Sacramento Kings, how good you are, and how good Sacramento Kings was, they got cooked. They got cooked because these veteran players not gonna allow you to do that.
No,
Again, I
one
want to
person didn't
specify.
allow to do it.
I want to specify, not veteran players, specifically Curry. Curry is the one that showed up, and Looney, they told him to go get a rebound. He got every one of them.
Man, how many players can you name? Can you name 5 players that was in a game 7 that would not let Sacramento Kings win that basketball game? Can you name me 5?
I can name you 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's layers to this thing. And Mike Brown, good
Not
season.
gonna let them win. I can name 5 just out of the
Choke it out.
Conference alone.
We closing the door on them.
Young and old, they're not gonna let Sacro shoot.
Not
look at the history.
Yeah.
Sacramento and LA. No matter what, they've had LA against the ropes, punching them in the face. And what happened every time? That game 7, it was either Shaq or it was Kobe. One of them was stepping up to the plate, and one of them saying, "Hey, I'm not going to allow you to send me home." And I mean, it happens. It just happens like that.
We don't give this guy no problem. We give him a little problem. Can we? I'm gonna do it. Can we give Chris Webber some props? Can you give Chris Webber? I mean, at one time, pound for pound at the power forward position, coming out of Michigan, he probably one of the most talented power forwards that come in the league at one time.
Yeah,
Can handle the ball.
Screen in late in games and give it to White Chocolate. That's what I can't put him in that category.
He could bring he could ball handle. He could bring the ball down. He held in the paint. You gotta get a man some props, man.
He was setting screen.
I would say he was probably him, and that's the bonus role right now. They would have been with the finals.
For a lot of reasons. I know a lot of people would say I'm a C-Web fan because of the timeout. That's not why. But I'm a fan for a lot of reasons. I think he y'all might call me crazy. I think he in the top 5 of power forwards. I'm just gonna be honest.
His talent
and guess
is
what?
ridiculous.
It's just my top 5 when you think about it. I remember the buzz this guy brought along with Fab Five, just himself alone, just the buzz that he brought to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was super talented. And here's the thing, Chris Webber couldn't even jump out the gym.
No.
He couldn't even jump out the gym. So, I mean, hey, I'm a fan.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is he better than DC, talent-wise?
Talent? That's tough.
Okay.
That's tough.
I'm posing some thoughts. I'm gonna pose some thoughts to you.
You cannot.
Go ahead.
This is what you cannot take away from DC. This is what you can't take away from DC. I think DC, as far as scoring, as a big, he really was untouchable. If you ask
hold
me,
up, man. Let me introduce DC to the young, to the casual fan who don't know who they talking about. Derek Coleman.
That's why I said. That's why I did that. I posted that joint on my Facebook page today. I was just like,
Derek Coleman,
the dude was a monster as a freshman at Syracuse when they played in the championship against a really experienced, well-versed Indiana team. And Keith Smart shot that shot and they won the game. I look at Webb, man, see, Webb is immensely talented. I can't sit here and say he's not. But, and at the time he played, the point guards that were in the West, him, Chris Webber, Rashid, there was some bodies out there, man. It was some real serious thumpers. I can't even remember all of them. But here's the thing that I look at with Chris. The hard part about it is that he was always, he had good teams, but they never got over the hump.
Well, I mean,
that team,
they ran against Shaq.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but even when he was a youngin, Even when he was a young,
I mean, they had the John Stockton,
even when he was in the
John
NCAA.
Stockton syndrome. They ready.
So I do got a question. So you said top 5 power forward all time. So you got Duncan, Dirk, Malone, KG, and Barkley. Who are you taking out? Who you taking out that fifth?
Y'all can call me crazy. I'm never, ever, never putting Dirk in the top 5. Dirk is not a top 5.
All right, we get in the show. We get in the show. We get in the show on that one.
Ooh.
we can end the show on that one.
I can't go put Dirk in the top 5.
He
That's
got
just
more
me.
hardware than Chris Webber.
You said hardware.
Touche. Yeah, he right.
Okay.
He made a move.
If we going on
did a move
hardware,
better
I
than
have no
anybody
choice but
ever.
But
I'm just saying he was able to get his team over the hump.
he did
and
what?
his team was not stacked at all.
Yeah, Jason Terry just went crazy in that series.
Yeah, he did go crazy. And
he went crazy.
I mean, you can't take that away. But personally, in my top 5, I don't think I wouldn't put Dirk. Definitely not over.
I think they played. I think they
Webb
played the
and definitely
position
not over
differently.
DC.
When Dirk came, that's when your power forward started to step out. And I'm not saying Chris couldn't shoot the jumper, but then when your power forward started stepping out, shoot that jumper. But if you want to go back to the rim, Chris Webber post moves was ridiculous.
But did he have a better one?
Dirk play for? Did he play the 4 his entire NBA career?
Two questions. What now? Which one? Go quick.
Did he have a better move than the Dirk fadeaway? Literally one of the most unguardable moves after the style.
Well, he had so many moves. He didn't have a go-to, but he was so flexible on the rim.
You know, the reason why I can't put Chris Webber in my top 5, top 10, maybe top 25 is because I remember watching the game. I remember watching the game, a close game, and Webber was setting screens instead of being in the paint, demanding the ball. And I was sitting at my TV screaming, trying to figure out why he wasn't down in the paint, putting the work on somebody.
You got Pager. Well, Pager's out. What he said for Pager to shoot the 3 guy. Remember, he had a decent little squad now.
He was setting the screens for Mike Bibby.
Mike Bibby was a heck of a ball player, man.
I'm not taking that away from him. But if the game is on the line and you got Tim Duncan in the game, who getting the ball?
Timmy.
If the game is on the line, you got Karl Malone in the game, who getting the ball? If the game is on the line, you got Charles Barkley in the game, who getting the ball? If the game is on the line, you got Dirk Nowitzki in the game, who getting the ball?
I asked you this question. I think we said this on the podcast that I was on before we did the draft. If your shot is not working, then you got to do something else to help the team win. And you should never be above doing what it takes to make the team win.
But I might be, y'all might say I'm crazy for saying this, but at the end of the day, those guys you naming, to be honest, they're better scorers than Chris Webber. They are better scorers. But when you look, yeah, they are. But when you look at it all around, from heart on, yeah, I'm gonna ride Chris.
Wait a minute. You said these 7, 8 guys are better scorers than Chris Webber.
You didn't name 7, 8. I give you 5.
KG, I left some good ones in the back. We didn't bring up KG's name. We didn't bring up Chris Bosh's name. We could keep going. All these guys can score.
I don't think Chris Bosh is in that. Yeah, he's a great scorer. He's a great scorer, but
he's got the hardware.
Even in my top 50.
I give KG because I think, in all true honesty, I think every bit of talent that he had in his body, he got out of it. So I respect that part of his aspect of who he was as a person. I was mad as shit though. One of my homeboys, like one of the dudes I used to work with, he said, "Man, you know what he said today ago? Carmelo Anthony, your wife tastes like honey nut Cheerios. I'd have punched that motherfucker in his mouth if he said that shit to me."
Well, but you know he said to the other cat, the dude, what's the gentleman name?
Somebody, mama had
the
died or something crazy or something
That
like
was
that.
you said
Right?
that to Duncan. You said that to Duncan on Mother's Day.
He said Tim didn't even pay no attention to him.
It was another one. The ball head got he had cancer or something. Until he had told me go to school. Yeah.
Villanueva.
Villanueva, yeah. But you know, but that was the mental game KG played to get you off your game. That's
Hey,
all
man,
that was.
I'm
You
gonna
beat
mentally
that
punch you in your.
dude, that dude ain't no
shit.
meaning than nobody else. Not saying he won't defend himself, but he ain't out there fighting nobody.
He gonna fight back,
He
but man,
gonna talk that no. He gonna talk that
you
noise.
see Carmelo went to the damn bus and tried to fight that nigga.
Yeah, he gonna talk that noise now. He gonna talk that noise.
He followed that brother to the bus. He was like, yo, nah, man.
Yeah.
He waited outside the locker room for that dude, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if calling my wife Honey Nut Cheerios, telling her she, Honey Nut Cheerios, I don't know if that's enough for me to just be following you to the bus. I mean, that's just trash. That's just talk.
But after a while,
you talking about my mom,
you don't know what he said before or after
stuff like that.
Everybody got different triggers though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right.
Like what somebody might say to me may not necessarily trigger me related to because the N-word doesn't bother me like that. The N-word doesn't bother me like that.
Yeah.
But if you put your hands on me, or if I feel like I'm threatened, I'm gonna crush you. With everything I got, I'm going there and fighting. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel you.
I don't let words don't trigger me. Now, if you say something to a significant other or about a significant other or my mother or something like that, yeah, you talking.
But that was just
but if they there,
get you off your game. If I can get you off your game mentally, I mean, we do it all the time.
And that's what the dude said. That's what the dude said.
All we doing to get me off the game. Win or lose, we get you out. But you mentioned Carmelo. Is he I'm gonna have to ask. He is all Hall of Famer. He is all Carmelo Anthony. Can we put him in Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Man, I mean, I know you rub your head. I'm asking. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Playmaker. He's a Hall of Famer. He's in.
I think you got to let him in. I mean, you got to let him in. You got to.
I mean, he done enough. He done enough.
Well, no. You just go and let him in. You don't go and pull a record. You just go ahead and let him in.
Come on in here. We ain't gonna pull no record. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, y'all gonna say I'm crazy. You're gonna say I'm crazy once again, but I know the man got 3 rings, but I wasn't to feel like D Wade was a first round, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nah, I didn't think that.
Well,
I don't know about that, man.
Hold on,
man. You sound like Paul Pierce on that one, man.
Hold on a second.
You sound like Paul Pierce on that one, man. God dang, man.
Well,
okay.
Like that, Rachel Nichols. No, who was that? The clown, Paul. That was the funniest joint.
Draymond.
3 beats more than one.
Paul Pierce
she was killing him. I don't know if y'all ever seen that. I wish I could see if I can find that joint. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that.
Paul Pierce, what now?
When I look at D Wade and Bosh, I think the first person I think about is LeBron. That's the first person I think about. Now I will give D Wade this. He won that first championship in Miami. Shaq was the second fiddle. D Wade was the man. He won that championship. I'll give him that hands down. But when I think about the next championships, that totally go. I mean, and people would say hand in hand with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. I just cannot separate LeBron when I think about D Wade. And then since we throw stats out there, where is he at? What records has he broken? What does he stand in this category, that category, and everything else? To me, that's just me. I mean, for him to take pride in,
Melo,
for him to take pride in saying that he's the number 3 best shooting guard in the league that's ever played, that's a bunch of crap. Because listen, when I look at that boy Reggie Miller, D Wade can't carry that boy jockstrap now. I'm sorry.
What was this in Baron Davis play?
Huh?
Baron Davis was a point guard.
Point guard, shooting guard.
Point guard.
What?
That dude can score too. A franchise was a shooting guard. I mean, there's a lot of shooting
He was
guards
point
that don't get a lot of
Franchise is a point guard
recognition.
too. And it was a
He
point
was
guard
a
too.
franchise point guard.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little
Okay.
more than the shooting guard.
And I
Okay.
sit and think, okay, that might have been a little hard for D. But I got a question though. Is the LeBron that we're seeing now, is he more dangerous than the LeBron we know?
Wait, ask that question again.
The LeBron we seeing right now, is he more dangerous than the LeBron we know?
The verdict's still out to me.
I think it
The
depends
verdict's
on the
still
team.
out.
I think the younger LeBron was a more athletic, better defender, shot blocker.
Exactly.
And depending on what team he was on, he needed that. This LeBron is more of, okay, I'm gonna be a coach on the court. I'm gonna shoot the jumper. I'm gonna pick my spots. It's a different type of LeBron. So I think it depends on the team he is on, which one is better, the old LeBron or the new LeBron.
I think the verdict is out, and the reason why I think the verdict is out because it depends on just like you said, Nesbitt. He's looking more of a coach and a leader of his team. So it all depends on how well he motivates. How well he motivate number 3 on the team. The gentleman that wear number 3 that dropped 30 and 20. If he can get him to drop 30 and 20 the rest of the playoffs, then yes, he's more dangerous than he was when he do it by himself.
Speaking of, I'm gonna be honest.
I feel like I don't know if he's more dangerous, but I feel like this LeBron is dangerous. And the reason why I feel like he's dangerous is because, everybody looking at it like, oh, he's slow now. He's slowed down. But at the end of the day, you still got that threat of that's LeBron James. The same way with Mike. I would ask the same thing with Michael Jordan. Is he more dangerous? Was he more dangerous older or at Mike? Being who he was.
LeBron's three-point shot is better.
What do you say, Quinn? You gonna jump in that queue? What do you say?
Well, I was gonna say is I think we should definitely start doing is stop holding a 38-year-old, 20-year in the league LeBron to the standards of a 28-year-old, 10-year in the league LeBron. LeBron is old now. I don't think
Bear's doing that. I don't think Bear's doing it. Well, I think what Bear's doing is taking that 20-year-old LeBron who was athletic and do it by himself. He was dangerous then, but now he's in a position where if I gotta score 30, I can. But if I can make everybody around me the best they can be, then I'm more dangerous than anybody else. And he got a prime example. If Anthony Davis can average 30, 20 for the rest of the playoffs, my answer to UB would be yes. Because if you keep him motivated, yeah, you more dangerous than you was when you did it by yourself. Because you can still get your 32.
Then I'll say yes, because that means LeBron is now playing the style of basketball that he probably wanted to play when he came into the league. And he wants to be able to facilitate, great IQ. He wants to be able to just be the encore coach. LeBron's playing the style that he's always wanted to play, but he couldn't play because he had to backpack teams, or he just had a chip on his shoulder in Miami, where he had to prove he had something to prove in Miami. Cleveland, he had to backpack them. And when we let LeBron sit back and play the solid basketball, that was in 2020, and he won a championship.
Yeah.
I still think when I look at LeBron now, I think he's a better shooter than he was when he was younger. I think he can still score 30 points. I think when he was younger, he was looking at a lot of fast breaks, a lot of taking people to the rack. I think now he can do the three-point shot. He can do the mid-range game. I think his game has evolved, and he's not just purely dependent on being the most athletic person on the court.
What are your thoughts, Ron? Okay, can you hear me? We're gonna.
He's muted. Ron's muted.
I agree with what he said. I agree with what he said.
All right.
You're right.
Well, guys, I mean, let's go around. Any last thoughts? So let's
Hey,
start with you. Let's start with you, RJ. We start with you around.
can
We'll
I
go around.
can I share this clip? Because it's the funniest thing in the world. I don't know if
Yeah,
it
if it
copyright.
goes through, yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it says host is disabled. You gotta allow me to share the screen, but you
I'm
don't know how
sorry.
to do it.
Oh, wait. Is this the this is after Paul Pierce said he was better than Wade, and then I think it was
Yeah, that joint is so funny to me.
Rachel Nichols ran through.
Who said what?
Most, I think Paul Pierce said he was a better player than Dwayne Wade, and I think he said on the bump. And Rachel Nichols went through every single important statistic, and Wade was better in every stat, from points to rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, rings, playoff points, the playoff stats as a whole. I think Olympics.
You go down
stats
to
too.
share screen, and then you click. No, I'm sorry. You go down to
Advanced sharing options.
Sure, it's not letting you do it. Don't worry about it. If you can't do it, don't worry about it. Hey, somebody else can go ahead.
Hold on, bro. There you go. Not. Go ahead. Hold on. Who can share? I know we recording, but you want to put it on there. We gonna put it on there and see if we can get everything going. All right, you try not run. There you go.
Oh, I forgot who. Michelle Beadle. That's what that was. Michelle Beadle. Anyone else hearing audio? I'm not hearing audio.
Oh, y'all can't hear. Hold on. Dang, man. Y'all should be able to hear the audio. Let me see. Son of a gun.
I think it's a setting based off of
The way the internet is doing. It might not let us play it.
It's actually probably for the best because I think ESPN don't play with like copyright at all.
That's cool.
But they went through, and Dwayne Wade led in every single important category. And I think if you went to the advanced stats, he probably led in that too.
But Paul Pierce is a different type of player, man. We gonna be on too much longer. Paul Pierce is a different type of player.
Don't get me on Paul Pierce.
Not better than Wade.
Do not get me on Paul Pierce.
All right, we keep running. Bear, last word for the night. Let's keep running.
Paul Pierce need to thank the Boston Celtics, the name of itself, for being in the Hall of Fame.
Is he top 50? No.
I don't see it. And when I remember when he made the D Wade statement, I felt like he was crazy. He's sitting on TV. I was like, that's the dumbest thing somebody can say. At the end of all this, man, it's just, I guess, it's how we see the game. It's how we look at the game. I know we all see it different and whatnot. I don't know. And I'll be the first person to say I'm a little harder, than most and whatnot. And I don't know. So
Quinn, your last word.
Dwayne Wade wasn't the only person to get bad at Paul Pierce. If anyone remembers, on the Paul Pierce was the retirement tour, and he went to Golden State, and Draymond said, "Man, they don't love you. Thought you were gonna get a retirement tour? They don't love you like that. You thought you was Kobe." And they just pan over because you hear it because on a hard mic, and you see Paul Pierce's face. It's like just defeat because they were losing. They were getting blown out, and then he said that too. And Paul Pierce looked so hurt.
Nesbitt, last word.
Man, it's a lot of interesting things. I still don't think Chris Webber is top 25, but I'll let that one slide.
All time is power forwards.
No, he's talking about 25 of power forwards.
Power forwards, yeah.
We'll worry about that. We'll go to that next show.
I would have to evaluate that list. I think he's above Sean Kemp that y'all kind of put up real high last time, but we can talk about that later.
We just said he was a freak athlete. I ain't say he was like highly skilled.
Okay.
Hey guys, the playoffs make legends. Anthony Davis, this is your time to become a legend, sir. This is your time to become a legend, sir. If you want to be seated at the big boy table, sir, if you want to be named into the elite power forward, the Tim Duncans of the world, sir, this is your time, sir. It's not LeBron. It's not Steph's time. Anthony Davis. This is your time, sir. What you gonna do with it? Hey guys, thanks for joining, man. Again, may your next move be the game changer. Good night.
I may take Charles Oakley over